Erev Tov Charim, I'm Stephen Ben-Nun. You're watching Israeli News Live. We are taking you here to our Facebook page on Israeli News Live to share with you some different news articles we've posted there. I've been studying all afternoon and some prophetic news that I'm going to be bringing to you hopefully in the next day or so here. So we're kind of a little bit pressed for time and sharing some of these articles with you. Mahmoud Abbas, his Fatah urges children to water the ground with blood. You heard that exactly right. A new wave of incitement on social media from Fatah, PA security for spokesman, and more demands more bloodshed. Leading a new wave of incitement, the Palestinian Authority chairman Mahmoud Abbas, Fatah's faction, has called on Palestinian children to water the ground with blood. Very sad to say the very least there. This was reported by the Palestinian Media Watch. The security forces official spokesperson Adna al-Damir put a post on Facebook last week from Fatah Sheba Youth Movement addressed to Palestinian children and as translated and revealed by Palestinian Media Watch on Tuesday. Teach your children to love the land. Teach them that we live a life of suffering. Teach them that there is a seed in the ground. If they water it with blood, a revolution will flower. You know, the sad thing is that all the rest of the nations are going to say, that's a pretty great thing that they just did there. The Vatican will side with them and say, yes, they need to say that. America, Barack Obama, he'll side with them as well. Yes, they need to do this. You know, it's just really sad to say the least, you know, what the governments are willing to do. Another article we thought was very interesting that we shared here as well was one on Now the End Begins, and it's dealing with Rick Warren and the purpose-driven plan to destroy the Church of Jesus Christ, as they posted here in their article here. And my apology there on getting this thing to roll out the right way here. Anyway, it says in the past 10 years, a large percentage of churches in America and in other countries have changed from a traditional New Testament church model to a contemporary purpose-driven model, many with sorrowful results, to the intent that now unto the principalities and powers in heaven places, they quote the scriptures of Ephesians 3:10, might be known by the church in the manifold wisdom of God. Contrary to the purpose-driven church propaganda, millions have been leaving their churches after the change occurred. It is important that every church member know if their church is targeted for the purpose-driven pastor takeover. Initially, a small clique of church staff, possibly included the pastor or new pastor, plans the change without telling the rest of the church membership. Of course, any of you guys that may know is Rick Warren is really buried deep in with the Catholic Church there, and very much a pro-Vatican sponsor. Very sad indeed, to say the very least there. Jordan also is tightening the laws on barring Jews from being able to buy any land in its own country near Petra. See, I didn't even know that there were Jewish people buying land in Petra, but certainly seems that there has been. And several other articles we've posted on there you might want to take a look at yourself on Israeli News Live on our Facebook page here. We're always trying to pick up new things that are going on. Terrorists known where to plunge the knife. Now, this was one that really I thought was interesting that we wanted to share with you. The leading trauma surgeon at the Shari Sadiq Hospital there in Israel said the stab wounds are not random. It is as if someone read the manual. In this article right here, and he was also interviewed by Israeli News Channel 2 there, he says, do Arab terrorists undergo some kind of preparation that teaches them how to cause maximum damage when stabbing Jews? One of the most prominent doctors treating terrorist victims in Jerusalem hinted Monday that this may indeed be so. Dr. Ofer Marin, director of the trauma unit at Sharit Sadiq Hospital and deputy director of the hospital, estimated that the terrorists know exactly what part of the body to plunge their knives into in order to murder. The terrorists know where to strike. It is not something random, he told the participants of the Magen David Adam Conference on Emergency Medicine, according to the report on Israel Hayom. 3 weeks ago, he recounted a casualty who is still hospitalized, was brought to us with 4 stab wounds, one in the lungs, one in the upper atrium, one in the right ventricle, and one in the neck. It is as someone read the manual, and then casualty came in with 2 punctures in the heart. You learn from that that they know where to strike. And of course, we know that. We've seen before, even in one of the Islamic jihadists there, the cleric actually from Gaza had done a video. And in his own video, he's teaching the Arabs how to kill Jewish people. And now there's a great big concern, especially after there were bomb-making materials discovered in Hebron in a raid there, that the next thing that is coming is going to be suicide bombers. I've been wondering for quite some time, when is this going to happen? It does seem like it's on its way, without a doubt. Anyway, I'm Stephen Benoon. You've been watching Israeli News Live. I hope the broadcast goes good for you. We actually are using capture on my cell phone today because of just getting too late in the evening after doing much studying on prophetic things that are taking place. Hopefully we're going to be jumping back to Daniel 11, and we are still also researching this covenant that's been going on with the rabbis there in Israel and the Vatican. And by the way, it is nothing but a Vatican orchestrated document. One thing I will say, give you a little bit of heads up on that was very pleasing to me, is everything I've been able to research on Prime Minister Netanyahu. Prime Minister Netanyahu, from the beginning of the Oslo Accords back in 1993, has opposed it from the very big onset of this agreement. So he's never been for the Vatican originally, and I thought that was interesting, to say the very least. He was not for the Vatican. I do believe he's caved under pressure here in the last days. Another interesting bit of information we've discovered, I'll just kind of give you a little tip heads on this here. Saudi Arabia has never made a covenant with Rome thus far. Now, if you happen to have other information that I don't, I'd love to know about it, but Saudi Arabia and China have never had diplomatic relationships as of yet. And also, Rouhani, president of Iran, is going to the Vatican next month. We just may be there ourselves just to be able to witness this event. I do believe that it's got a prophetic implications there, and we will share with you what our thoughts are on that at that time. Anyway, I'm Stephen Benoon. You're watching Israeli News Live. Shalom.